Hey guys, Spac Daddy Doug here, and today I'm going to go over 4 issues that I see Spac stock traders making. These if you're not an experienced Spac stock trader, and if you're just doing your research into these companies, these are typical issues that I think everyone's going to fall into. These are traps in Spac stocks. So what the purpose of this video is, I'm going to go over these 4 issues, and these are 4 issues I've personally learned. Besides this video, there's probably not much information online that's going to tell you, hey, don't do this, don't do this. And through reading, what really prompted me from making this video is I'm reading through online forums, and I just see people making these, I call them dumb mistakes, but I don't think they're dumb. I just think they're mistakes people haven't learned their lesson from. So hopefully from viewing this video, you do not make these 4 mistakes. The first one I'm going to go through is buying Spac stocks during an announcement. So if you know the Spac stocks, you typically Spac stock starts at $10 and it's $10 and then an announcement goes up and the Spac stock spikes. And then you are like, hey, this is a great announcement. I want to get into this company. They're making a great product, and they're definitely going to make a lot of money. The stock's going to go through the roof. Yes, that's going to be an issue, because if you follow the trend for almost all Spac stocks, it starts off at $10, announcement occurs, and then what happens is it goes down. And the reason for that is there's an announcement and then there's an acquisition date that's usually given. So they're going to say, hey, we're going to do this in 2 quarters. So that gives you anywhere from 3 to 6 months before this acquisition date goes through. So the price goes down significantly. And, if you're buying at that peak time, you're just going to lose money. So that is the first issue. Now, I've personally lost money into this. I fell into this trap when I first started Spac trading. And I'll give you a recent example where this has occurred. And Kensington Acquisition announced a merger with QuantumScape. And people last week were like, hey, this is great. This company's great. And they're going to have a great future. And this stock went over $20. And then if you follow it, I'm like, don't invest into this. You're just going to lose money. And I know it's going down. So really the right time to buy that Spac stock is, determining when that acquisition date is going to occur. If it's farther out, you want to just wait, because there's going to be a buy time, and you don't always have to buy at the very bottom. Typically, you probably want to wait 45 days or so out from that acquisition date to buy. And I learned my lesson through Opus, and I purchased Opus here, and I was like, BurgerFi, this is great. And really, this is my issue here, and the stock just tanked and lost a lot of money that way. And it's just the way the Spac stocks work. Issue number 2 is holding a Spac stock way before its merger acquisition date. And I see this happening a lot. People are very excited about some of these companies. And I'll give you one example. I see this. HCAC and Canoe. People are excited about this product. I made a video about this. I'm not thrilled about it myself. I'm probably not an investor, but I could be wrong. It depends how the market reacts, really. But so they're not expected to have a merger date the end of Q4. And I see people right now, 3-4 months out, they're like, well, I want to buy this. It's going to be the next big thing. Do not buy this. Do not fall into this trap. It's too far out. People are going to lose interest over time. People are going to move their money out of that stock into ones that are making money, and they're going to revisit that as closer when it gets to that acquisition date. And also, I'll give you my personal example again with Opus. Opus that had an original acquisition date, I forget what it was, a couple months, should have been back in July, I think. And that was one of the reasons I was holding. And because of COVID, and I think there was management issues, and they just couldn't get their act together to get a date down, that they pushed it back down to November, that the stock just kept taking a dump because of that reason. So there was a lot of risk holding on to a Spac stock that's pretty far out. I mean, additionally, I know this has happened in the past. There's Spac stocks that are announced and the merger never goes through. And if you're holding warrants and even the stock, you'll just lose your money. So that's a big risk to hold on to something. I mean, you just got to wait for that buy time. And there's definitely going to be buy times. You don't have to buy the stock at the very lowest peak. Spac stocks, once they hit their bottom, they'll usually trickle back up, and then at the very end, right before that acquisition, it skyrockets. So that's the second issue I see people making. The third issue is buying a Spac stock that's close to that acquisition date, but it's still around its original price target, typically $10. And I can give you 3 Spac stocks that have acquisitions in the next couple weeks that I see some people pumping up, and I'm just like, this is probably going to be a loser. First is CRSA, which is 45 Trading. It's about a little over $10, and it's just a red flag. It could be a great product. I know they sell gyms and stuff, and I not personally, I'm not an investor into this, but I think this is going to go below $10 after the vote is made. HCCH Fusion Fuel, I think it's hanging around close to $10 or $11. That's another one. And the big one here is CCXX Multiplan. It's about $11. This one I keep an eye on. I mean, it could drop below $10, but I think just because it's very close to its merger date and it's not moving, it's at risk of dropping significantly. And I can give you two examples that are stocks when I first started trading SPACs that I felt were decent stocks, and they dropped below $10. It was free. I know a lot of people lost some money onto it. Dropped below $7. Sounds like a great product. They make a lot of sugar, and they're, store brand names you know of, and it just didn't do well. And DMS, which is another company, I thought year-over-year growth, revenue. I'm excited about this. This is a surefire thing. It dropped below $10, and I mean, it hovered around $10 right before the merger and dropped below. And now I think it's made its $10 back, and it's going to keep going up just because I don't think people knew the brand. I don't think people understood it. Some things just tech does really well in SPACs. Other areas just don't have the volume and people aren't interested in it. It's just the way it is. So the $10 rule. And my fourth issue is people that have weak hands and selling before a merger. And I'll give you one example I see about this, and I just kind of laugh. So, I mean, there are some sure winners out there right now in Q3, at the end of Q3, and I can name them off. It's probably Shell. Shell is probably the biggest SPAC stock that's going to happen between now and, the New Year's. Graph and probably LCA. But, Shell stock skyrocketed last week. I mean, it went up, I think, 30% or so. And then today it dropped 2 or 3%. And people start panicking. They're like, oh my God, I got to sell. Don't sell. I mean, stocks, don't always go up as much as people say. I mean, they wiggle. It goes up and down, unless there's some type of significant event that the company is releasing, or a macro event that's occurring worldwide that could be an issue. Nothing's going to happen to it, especially in the word, Shell. The merger date is September 28th. We're 3 weeks out or so from that date, and that stock is going to continually go up. It can follow the trends of every other SPAC stock, and it's, that last week of trading, it's going to be up significantly. I can't give you a number. I can give you numbers I like it for it to be. I don't know where it's going to go, but I can say it's going to go up. So those are my 4 issues that I have, which I see commonly online. I think I'm going to do a part 2 of this video. I see another issue with people buying stocks, options, and warrants at the wrong times. There are certain times when you want to buy warrants, certain times when you want to buy options, and certain times when you just want to buy the stock. And I see people making big mistakes. And I can just give you a tip right now. Shell, Graph, and LCA at this very moment, I guess for the next week, between now and I'd say probably September 20th, buy the warrants. That's where you want to be. You could fall into the options trap, but I'll make a video about that upcoming. But if you guys like this type of content, just like and subscribe, support this channel. I know I love the subscribers here. You guys are a great community. And until then, I'll talk to you guys next time.